Hello, my name is Mauricio Avalos. Welcome to today's lightning talk. I'm a product manager at Nolti. And today I'm going to be talking about automating project timelines with Smartsheet and Jira. These are tools that we use internally at Nolti. So first I'm going to go over what is a project timeline. I'm pretty sure most of you have the basic concept of what a project timeline is, but I'm just going to go over some points. A project timeline is basically a visual representation of tasks and milestones in chronological order for a given project. It helps us visualize progress on tasks and the project, and it also allows us to organize tasks that can be done in parallel and those that need a previous task to finish in order to get started. Finally, it also helps us with resource planning. This is very important, as with the project timeline, we have a clear visual representation of when we can assign more resources to a project. So if we see a part of the project that has a lot of tasks that are independent of each other, we can decide to assign more engineers in order to gain time or to recover lost time on the project. It also helps us ease decisions on what to prioritize in case of delays. And it allows the project manager, teams, and clients to have a clear view of when a project will finish. So why Smartsheet and Jira? At Nolti, we use Jira to help our project management and task tracking activities. We chose Marchit as our main tool to track project progress because of its flexibility and deep integration with Jira. So if you use Jira on a daily basis, you may know that it's not a good tool to visualize if you are on time or behind schedule in a project. Smartsheet is a good tool for project tracking, and when you combine both tools, it results in a powerful way of automizing project timelines. So I'm going to go over a few benefits of automizing project timelines. Basically allows you to have real-time project progress. It allows you to make better decisions and have more better data to prioritize. It reduces the manual entry of information and therefore reduces mistakes. It also throws accurate metrics and reports, and it allows the client to be informed of the project status on a daily basis without much effort. So I'm going to go over a quick demo of a template that we created here at Nolti for our projects. So the basic template that is offered by Smartsheet is it comes with certain limitations. So we decided to expand this to have better visibility and better automation of the project timeline. So here you can see a list of tasks. These tasks are basically issues in our Jira project. In this column you can see the Jira ID that's linked to Smartsheets. So any updates that we do here will be reflected in Jira, and any updates that are done in Jira will be reflected in Smartsheets. One of the most important columns we have is the duration column. At the beginning of the project, this column basically is the original estimate for each of the tasks that are represented here. And as the project starts, this column turns into the cycle time for each of the tasks. So we have here 6 very important columns. The baseline start date and baseline end date basically are ideal start and end dates for each of the tasks when we start planning the project. It's very important that we keep this untouched for reference later to see how much our project has gone off track or if we're on time. And that's why we have the actual start date and end date columns. These get automatically updated. We use a plugin called automation in Jira. So basically when a task transitions from in progress to doing, the actual start date gets updated automatically. And this third column helps us keep track of how much time has passed from when we actually planned the task to get started until when we actually started the task. We have color codes here to determine how far we are from our actual start date. So basically green color means that we're on time, red color means we're off track, and here we have the calculation of by how many days we're off track. The same applies with the end date. So with automation for Jira, we have a process that when a task is closed, this column is updated automatically, and we can keep track of the delay it took from what we originally had planned to when we actually finished the task. We also have this column that is called effort. This is different than what I just explained, as this keeps track of the effort put into the task. So we use a time tracking tool called Tempo, and we basically map the amount of time it takes an engineer to finish a task. So the color green means that the engineer is on time for the planned effort for this task. And if this is red, it means that the engineer has overworked the task. And finally, we have this column that allows us to easily see the progress that is being made on each of the tasks. Okay, so and just to finalize, other key benefits that automating a project timelines gives us, it allows you to control how information is updated. The connector in Smartsheets allows you to control the flow of data. It can be synced bidirectionally, which means that if you modify something in Smartsheets, it will automatically be updated in Jira and vice versa. Or it allows you to control the flow from Smartsheets to Jira only, or Jira to Smartsheets. It also allows us to create dashboards and reports easily with up-to-date information. Client feels informed throughout all of the projects. It also allows product managers to focus on other important things, as they won't have to be updating the timeline on a daily basis. And it allows for better post-mortem analysis, as we can have a clear picture of how the project developed. And finally, it allows us to act quickly with the right data. And thank you. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. So Gerardo asks, how long does it take you to set up Smartsheet from scratch? And when it's completed, how much maintenance does it need to keep up to date? So basically, the template we created here at Noti, it took a bit to get setup, as it required work with the plugin, the automation for Jira. It also required a bit of tweaking custom fields in Jira in order to be able to save data. It took us about a week to set it up with everything automized. But once it's set up, new projects take less than 30 minutes to onboard into this template. And regarding maintenance, if the tickets are updated on a regular basis, the timeline will be updated without any need for human intervention, no? Unless you want to reprioritize tasks or maybe change the start dates or and end dates of some of the tasks, then other than that, you don't need to maintain it. Dwayne asks, how long does it take on average to set up this connection? Again, it's same as before. It's to set up the template, it takes a while, but once it's set up, any project can be onboarded really quick. Herman asks, do you think this helps customers that are not familiarized with Agile to understand better the progress? It does. I mean, there's kind of a debate if these type of tools should be used on Agile projects, as requirements are constantly being reprioritized and new features are dropped in favor of others. But it does help the client, well, or the end customer, have a better overview of how work is being done and the progress that is being made in general in the project, and it will allow them to take better decisions on, like, for example, if they're running out of time, if they need to reprioritize, to drop some features, or what to do in order to finish on time. Okay, so if there aren't any more questions, thank you for joining us, and see you next week.